Good evening, and in our news bulletin this evening, the Ecclesia Niue raised $95,000 yesterday during the Pinyamina celebrations. Over 10 patients were admitted to the hospital since the 1st of October due to complications with the flu, which has been attributed to the changes in the weather. Ebola preparedness measures are also well underway at the Niue Hospital, with staff and other frontline departments holding meetings to ensure a high level of preparedness. Over 40 traditional canoes were launched last week during the Constitution celebrations as part of a waka building project in the village of Avaseli. A number of veterinarians are currently helping reduce the number of feral wild cats and dogs running rampant on the island with a desexing program this week. A maritime conference is about to be held on the island for the regional representatives beginning tomorrow. The Ecclesia Niue raised $95,000 yesterday during the Pinyamina celebrations. The annual commemorations celebrate the landing of the good news on Niue by Nukai Pinyamina on the 26th of October, 1846. He was the first Niuean convert to successfully bring the good news ashore, allowing for the adoption of Christianity by the Niuean people. The commemoration yesterday was also an occasion for the individual Ecclesia churches on the island to contribute funds towards the main Ecclesia Niue funds. It is understood Hakupuatua made a contribution of $15,000, Vaea donated $12,000, and the Tuapa Uhomotu Ecclesia donated $10,500. Some of the smaller villages, notably Namukulu, also made significant contributions well above their population or the size of their congregation of just 6 people. Over $9,000 was donated by the village pastors and Ulumotua. Over 10 patients have been admitted to the hospital since the 1st of October due to complications of the flu. According to Niue Hospital, the severe increases is due to the changes in the weather from cooler to hotter temperatures.
We see about an average of about 12 to 15 cases each day, but I don't have a figure in my mind, in my head at the moment. But there was an increase above normal, because normally we see normal flu, maybe 2 or 3 cases each week, but it was well over 10 per week. So we know there's an increase, but that coincides. We noticed a pattern every year. It happens around May or June when it changed from hot to cold weather, and also happens around September, October when it changed from cooler months to starting of summer or spring.
The flu was also prevalent in New Zealand, with a number of visitors bringing it with them and infecting the families here. There were also a number of diarrhea cases affecting the island, with its onset beginning at the same time as the flu. According to Dr. Eddie Akaola, the reports have decreased significantly as well.
We normally don't admit flu cases unless they have complications or severe signs and symptoms like vomiting, dehydration, or diarrhea, or coughing too much, or they have secondary bacterial infection if they proceed on from normal flu to suffer from pneumonia. That's when we admit them to the hospital. They present with high fever, very irritable cough, severe headache or body ache, joint pains, or dehydration. That's when we admit them and we put up IV fluid to rehydrate them and commence the intravenous therapy or antibiotics. I don't think it has any other difference from the flu cases that we see in the past years. But as we all know that the flu virus, they change color or they change DNA like the octopus change color in the sea. It's the same strain, but they appear differently this year. They will appear differently next year. The only one that we worry about was dengue that struck us back in 2012, and we lost 1 patient due to dengue fever. But with the flu cases, although severe, but we haven't lost anybody due to the flu cases.
Ebola preparedness measures are also well underway at UFO Hospital, with staff and other frontline departments holding meetings to ensure a high level of preparedness. Niue's first line of defence against Ebola actually lies with the New Zealand Border Control, with the UFO Hospital making preparations in case anything gets through. According to Health Director Manila Nosa, the threat is high, but the actual risk for Niue and New Zealand is quite low.
The threat is serious, but the risk is still low. But we are working with the other stakeholders at the moment to reduce that risk. We understand that the risk is everywhere around the world, but each country should be able to prepare themselves properly, be able to handle any situation in the future, and also to protect the local people here from Ebola, even if it's gets over here in the future or not. But at least the best we can do is to get ourselves prepared, especially the frontline staff and also the border control agencies that are out there, because that's the risk that we're looking at for somebody that will bring in the virus through the borders over here.
Health Director Manila Nosa says this exercise is also a follow-up to their H1N1 preparedness measures in 2009, and it's good to ensure measures are in place once more, not only for Ebola but also for dengue fever, Zika virus and other ongoing threats to the region.
We've already had a meeting with some of the key staff about issues where we can prepare ourselves within the hospital, and also what resources that we might require to be able to do some of the work. We have been talking about infection control and staff to be well prepared how to protect themselves using the personal protective equipment that's called PPEs, and also to be able to be more aware of any other activities that might happen in the hospital and also outside of the hospital at the moment. So we are well aware of the situation out there with Ebola, and also we're building on our experience with H1N1 in 2009, and we are working along those lines how to get our hospital prepared, and also the staff who will be involved, and also the flow of the work that will be issued out when we do these things outside there in the public as well.
Over 40 traditional canoes were launched last week during the Constitution celebrations as part of a waka building project in the village of Avaseli. The project, which almost took a year to complete, saw the most number of canoes launched in a single day than has ever been done in recent times. The waka project organisers are hoping this resurgence of interest in traditional waka building and usage will ensure its continuation and survival over years to come. A number of veterinarians are currently helping reduce the number of feral wild cats and dogs running rampant on the island with a desexing program this week. The clinic is set up at the youth centre at Whanokula and is open for anyone to bring their cats and dogs for treatment.
Okay, so the main reason we desex females is obviously so they don't have to keep having one litter after the other and after the other, which is quite hard on them. There's also a lot of puppies that are unwanted that people don't want, and that the male dogs will be chasing the female dogs and fighting over the female dogs, and then you get a dominant male dog, and then he's going to breed his aggression and his dominance into his puppies, and then it can escalate, so you've got a very aggressive population of dogs on an island. And we do know that in some of the Pacific islands such as Rarotonga and Tonga there is an increasing feral dog aggression that is scaring some of the tourists because they're at risk of getting attacked. So if we desex male dogs as well as the female dogs, then that reduces the aggression. It doesn't affect the dog's personality or its health in any way except in a positive way, because the males aren't looking for girlfriends, they're not frustrated, they fight less, they roam less, so they're not going to other villages spreading fleas and spreading diseases and parasites and worms to children and families and other dogs and cats in that area. So it's a good thing to desex the males as well as the females. And for both sexes, female and male dogs, there's actually a lot of health benefits, like female dogs, if they're desexed, they don't get breast cancer. So, and male dogs, they don't get prostate problems and they don't get testicular cancer if they're desexed as well. So those are a lot of problems that we can see, health issues as well.
A regional maritime conference is about to be held on the island beginning tomorrow. The conference, which sees most of its delegations arrive today, will continue throughout the week, and we hope to bring you more on that meeting after tomorrow's opening ceremony. And to end our news this evening, the 40th Constitution celebrations has been a very busy period for the whole island, with a number of these events being brought to you on TV Niue. More of that Constitution coverage will follow over the next few days and weeks. TV Niue hopes that you have enjoyed those events, as well as the coverage that Television Niue also looks to improve in future its programming over the next few weeks and months. So we hope you've enjoyed that coverage, and we look forward to bringing you more here on TV Niue. And that ends our news this evening. Ina Wakafi will be back with you for the rest of the week. And until next time, nona foa.